Up in the Dumbo, smoking a gumbo. Few blocks before green, yeah, up in the jungle, coking the bundles. It's history in the making. I'm popping like fish to the grease and the bacon. My bitch is Jamaican. United we stand, dividing these bands. They hide in their hands. I'm riding in vans, slide through your land. Hopping the sprinters, tore the underworld, popping the minter. Landed the turtles, I'm popping that splinter. Watching the snowfall, dropping the winter. Dodging the pitfalls, watching this bitch fall. And I still managed like Rich Paul. The paper was calling, I had to go switch calls. Spoke to my twin, I told my young boys I'd never be broken again. Invoking the gins, spitting the spirits, I'm soaking the gin. Your man's in the woods, we smoking on him. Fuck do you mean? We up it and squeeze, tuck it and leave. We leaving a stain, fuck up for breeze. Running the banks, causing a crashing. Feather the feds, Moorish the fashion. Horse we was smashing, kicking the door. Waving for force, it was blasting. Mother the gassing, loving the passion. Eat on your food, the brother was fasting. The weapon that formed against me was me. Perfected the storm as Bentley receipts. Washing the Benjis, we rinse and repeat. Century of self, I'm centered on me. Red as the pillar, I'm pushing the piece. Higher the level, I'm pushing the keys. They going for 19. The summer is mine, I'm going for 19. Thunder and lightning, flooded a bright lane. The hunger was biting, biting.
Peace to the family. Peace to you and yours. Peace to you and yours. Peace to the family. All right. Welcome. How's everybody doing on this good Sunday? I thought it was Monday. You know, I be getting the days fucked up. But we on a Sunday. Blue Pill, he's in Miami right now. He wasn't able to do his sermon and whatnot. So I was like, shit, let's go ahead and do the Sunday service. You know what I'm talking about? I'm not Pope Pablo. I'm more so the Antichrist. But we here now. We here. We're going to talk about, we're going to have a nice little conversation today. First and foremost, how's everybody doing in the building? Peace, love, and light to the family on this beautiful Sunday and whatnot. How y'all doing? How's everything going? Greetings. You like the biddies in the background? Yeah, I'm sure you do. You'll like the biddies in your wallet even better, wouldn't you? Yeah, so, you know, I'm chilling, you know what I mean? I'm chilling. I'm up, you know what I mean? I'm up a few bands and whatnot, you know what I'm talking about? I went in bed on a fight last night, you know what I'm saying? And yeah, I'm up, my niggas. I'm up, you know what I'm talking about? So yeah, one thing that I tell people, they was like, who's gonna win the fight? This is my advice to you moving forward, especially for those of y'all that like to bet on shit. Whoever's the biggest mouth in the room, whoever's yapping the most, they not ready. This is a cultural lesson for everybody. All of my young gods out there. Whoever's the biggest mouth in the room, don't bet on them. If nothing has showed you from what you've seen, if life has not taught you anything, right? If life has not taught you anything from being on social media to paying attention to what goes on in the culture and hip hop and whatnot, all the way to where you see sports like UFC, the Smack Fest, you know, niggas be smacking and whatnot. All the way up into the smacking and shit, and all the way up into boxing, right? Whoever's the loudest voice in the room, the nigga that's beating on his chest, and they always tell you that in the streets. The one with the biggest mouth is the nigga that you hit first. You feel me? Because he's the one that's using all of that rah to back up what he don't got. And that's the hands, and that's the skills. You feel me? So when I saw the press conference, I sat back. I'm going with Bud. You know what I'm talking about? I'm going with Bud because I know what prepared looks like. I know what prepared looks like, and I know what not prepared looks like. When you're not prepared, you're making a lot of noise. When you're not prepared, you're taking personal shots and insults and whatnot. That man was prepared. He was centered. He was like calm. He had the look of a killer, if you know what a killer looks like. So I was like, I'm going with Bud. They both had on black forces. I couldn't tell if that was, you know what I mean? The outfit wasn't giving it away, but it was a demeanor. You know what I mean? He came in there ready to fucking work, and he worked that boy. And I ain't making no excuses. That nigga got his ass whooped. And I'm talking about, fuck that. Hang it up, young man. You can't. Your shit is done with. You know what I'm talking about? You got whooped. You got beat to. You damn near got beat to death if they didn't stop the fight. You know what I mean? You out there looking like Marty Marr, nigga. You know what I'm talking about? How many lumps? You know what I'm saying? You nigga had more lumps than coffee. You know? Hang it up. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Nobody is gonna take you serious anymore, young man. I heard he got into a car accident. They say he hasn't been the same ever since. So, you know, we don't want you to catch no CTE up this bitch. But yeah, that was non-impressive. That was non-impressive. Boxing is called a sweet science. That young man put on a workshop last night. That man that is Bud Crawford. This nigga's from Omaha, Nebraska? You know what I'm talking about? This nigga's from Omaha. I don't know how many of y'all know somebody from Omaha, Nebraska. I know more niggas from Boise, Idaho than I know from Omaha, Nebraska. But one thing tells me, when you find a nigga from Omaha, Nebraska, don't fight him. You know what I'm talking about? That is a wild card for real. Don't fight him. You know what I'm saying? That's a different Negro. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, you got people coming out of Baltimore and Philadelphia and the Badlands and whatnot. Don't fight him. You know what I mean? Leave that man alone. You know what I'm talking about? He different. He's raised up around different niggas. You know what I'm saying? Don't fight him. Leave that man alone. Yeah. He raised up against cow tippers, cowboys, corn huskers. The nigga eating different food. He's the illest nigga in Nebraska. Whoa, I missed that one. I'm gonna have to run with that. Yeah, he's the illest nigga from Nebraska right now. You feel me? You feel me? So yeah, man. Yeah, he been lifting bales of hay. Malcolm X is born in Omaha. Damn, is that right? These some different people you see. These some different people. You know what I mean? Where was Ali? Ali was born in Kentucky, correct? Right. I went to Louisville. Was he born there though? He was born there. You know? So for the ladies, you know, y'all might not know what we're talking about. We're talking about a boxing match that took place last night between Errol Spencer and Bud Crawford. Okay. And it was welterweight. The weight was 147. I think I might drop down to 147. Niggas was, you know what I'm talking about? I might have to drop my weight to welterweight. They moving like my nigga Sweet Purnell Whitaker and whatnot. Them 147 Bill niggas, they put it, that's like Pacquiao, right? I think Tank Davis is in the 140s and shit like that. These little niggas put in some work. They the little niggas that the BBWs be going after, right? They the little niggas, but they working. You know what I'm talking about? Old Charleston White build ass niggas. You know what I mean? They dangerous. Little niggas is dangerous. I'm a, you know, I used to, you know what I'm saying? I used to pick on little dudes and whatnot. You know what I'm talking about? I'm gonna have to rethink that. A nigga had me outside looking like Spencer in these streets. You know what I'm talking about? My ego won't go for that. It's not even a little man complex. They not really little men. You know, it's not like they're short. Not like they don't have the Napoleon complex. They got that Bruce Lee shit. You know what I'm saying? That's that internal strength. Blue Pill got that shit. I was just watching the video. He's on the beach doing pull-ups like that's his fucking like that's second nature. You know what I'm saying? You know. I don't, I'm like, you gotta watch out for the little niggas, man. They be hurting shit. You know what I'm saying? These welterweight niggas is dangerous. You know? Do you think I we'll talk about that. We'll talk about that. We'll definitely talk about the Utopia album. I was living with it throughout the weekend and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? I was living with it. So I'll give you my review. I'm not gonna give you the full review, but we'll talk about it. You know what I'm saying? We'll definitely talk about it. Yes, inner strength. You know what I mean? Salute to all of the slim gods and goddesses out there. You know, y'all got my attention. You know what I'm saying? Y'all definitely got my attention. I don't even really want to see the heavyweights fighting too tough moving forward and whatnot. I'm focusing on these little niggas. You know what I'm saying? Because they fast. You know what I mean? They got that bing bing. You know what I mean? They got that strength, power hits. So yeah, man. If you a little dude, you know what I'm saying? Don't feel too bad about yourself. You know what I mean? Keep doing your push-ups and pull-ups and whatnot. You know what I'm talking about? Keep doing your two-finger push-ups. Y'all niggas is different. You know? Keep building that inner strength. You know what I'm saying? You know? Keep building up that inner strength. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna work for you. You know? somebody, somebody said Olympian black to the whole chat. That's funny. That is definitely funny. But how y'all doing though? Enough about me. How's everybody doing on this beautiful Sunday and whatnot? How is your strong end? We're gonna get ourselves right today so we can move into the rest of the next 7 days on a bright note. You know what I mean? They say program your day, right? They say program your Sundays. You know what I mean? Use your Sundays to program the rest of your strong. We don't use the word weak over here to program the rest of your strong and whatnot. So you can have shit together because these days be going like this. Next Sunday is gonna be here. The next minute you look up, Sunday's gonna be here again. So speaking of niggas getting their ass whooped, who saw the white boy demolish young Pharaoh in a debate? He beat that boy badder than what fucking Bud did to Spencer. Who saw that shit? He had his fucking eye hanging out. Who saw that? You know what I'm talking about? I'm waiting for that meme to come out. He beat that boy so bad. I thought he was screaming at me. I thought the European was screaming at. I took it personal. Who saw that? Somebody go and get your boy. He's out there looking real bad on these ropes. God damn. My goodness. Lord have mercy. Mm-mm-mm. Mm-mm-mm. That was y'all master teacher, wasn't it? Shit don't look too good, you know? But yeah, he's out there getting washed up by white boys talking greasy. When I say greasy, the white boy was talking so fucking greasy, it made no sense whatsoever. He was grabbing his balls. He would let his balls hang, and he was talking crazy. No, this was like I seen the Jabari shit too. I stumbled upon that. This shit was about 10 times worse than that, bro. I shit you not, cause it's a white boy. It was about 10 times worse than that, bro. I shit you not. You said where can you find it? I have no idea. Matter of fact, let's see if we could go and find it. I don't know. Somebody sent it to me. It might be on the Young Brothers page and whatnot. Somebody had sent it to me, and then I checked it out because they was like hyping it up, like, "Yo, shit, look crazy." I'm like, "You sure? Sure about that?" Then I checked it out. Y'all asking the wrong questions. Somebody post a link. Yeah, someone, not me. I'm not doing all of the work. It's Sunday, my niggas. I'm here talking. I'm just here to give you the news. I'm a reporter. I'm just giving you the skinny on what the fuck is going on in these YouTube streets. You understand? You know what I'm talking about? I'm just here to give you what's going on. Y'all don't be knowing what's happening. You know what I'm saying? Y'all don't be knowing what's happening. Um, Yeah, I don't know if I could play another YouTube clip on my page. Niggas be sending cease and desist and whatnot. And I'm not finna lose my page over shit like that. You understand? You know what I mean? Bad enough. We gotta figure out. I need some copyright people so we can figure out how to play music on the channel and not get a fucking not get muted and not get strikes. You feel me? You know what I mean? Yeah, Celeb Plant. He slapped fire out of Charlo. Did you see that? What's up with the white boys just loose with their hands and shit? God damn. The white boys having the best week ever, I'm seeing. God damn. White boy smacked fire out of him backstage at the fight. Brothers, y'all gotta get y'all shit together, man. The ladies is watching us. This is not looking good. You know what I'm saying? They out here acting up. White boys out here acting a fool. I tell you. You would think with the sun erupting and shit, they would kind of like, you know what I mean? That shit looks like it's charging them up. They may be getting some of these sun rays and whatnot, feeling themselves. You know what I'm saying? What's going on with you niggas? Y'all a little too relaxed. You know? Y'all a little too relaxed. You dig? Y'all a little too relaxed. Yeah, I come from that day too. They used to cross the street, right? We wasn't looking for no problems from white folk when I lived in Flatbush. You know what I'm talking about? We wasn't looking for no problems. We wasn't trouble starting with nobody. But they would, this was almost like how a person would bow to you. You know what I mean? They would respectfully cross the street. Like, you know what? I'm not about to challenge all it's 30 niggas walking my way. I'm gonna give y'all the benefit of the doubt. I'm gonna cross the street because I don't want to walk through that wave because it's almost like I'm challenging you guys. You know what I'm saying? You know, think about it. Like I'm walking through y'all. I'm not walking around y'all. You know, if a nigga try to walk through us, they was gonna get fish filleted and whatnot. So the white people would give us the consideration and walk across the street. And nobody was gonna run across the street and bother them. We could keep it moving and whatnot, but we was moving as a force. You know? They don't do that no more. They walking right through niggas, like with the poodle and everything. They walking right through you with the poodle, like, watch out. You know what I'm saying? Well, watch out. You know what I mean? My Cocker Spaniel got to get through. Like, they not saying, excuse me. They just walking through, like, what's happening? What's good? What's good? Damn. How the mighty have fallen. How the fucking mighty. Yes, they outside. They outside. They outside. They live. They on live. They on live on Truth Social. You know what I'm saying? On Rumble and shit. You know what I'm saying? Walking through the hood live with the fucking with the selfie stick. They ain't scared of nothing. This is Brooklyn, Bed-Stuy, might I add. This is Bedford Stuyvesant, do or die. You know what I'm talking about? They don't give a fuck. They're not buying into the propaganda. They're not. We need to see some more ass whoopings in the boxing and the UFC field so they could be getting a little more nervous. We need a black wrestler or something to to instill some fear. You know what I'm saying? Because they they just not buying it. You know what I mean? Niggas, you know what I mean? We toothless tigers in their eyes from what it looks like. And then they out here smacking niggas. You know what I'm saying? I never in the life of me seen some shit like that. This nigga, the white boy smacked him in front of mad niggas too. This was last night at the boxing match. It was the white boy smacked the brother. Two boxers, I guess. Smacked fire out of him. Like a open hand smack. Oh. Yeah, shit looking bad, man. You know what I mean? Shit looking bad, man. That's what y'all get for supporting Sexy Red and Sukihana. Who saw the picture with Sukihana and the King Kong of Consciousness? They finally linked up. There's a link up going on. I'm looking for the OnlyFans link so we can see what really is going on with them two. But yeah, Sukihana met up with the King Kong of Consciousness, her dream. You know what I mean? And I'm here for it. You know what I'm talking about? I'm fucking here for it. You know what I mean? I'm the first nigga that will buy a ticket if she opens up for Umar. I want to see that. Yeah, I want to see what that's about. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I'm here for that. You know what I mean? It's the most unlikeliest of couples that will fucking shake your reality. I'm here for that. I'll show up for that one. You feel me? You know what I'm talking about? She could talk about the metaphysics of squirting, and then he'll get into his shit about the school and whatnot. I'm here for it. You know what I'm saying? No judgments whatsoever. You know? Yeah. Next up is Black China. Somebody should inbox her and be like, who you want to meet? You know what I'm talking about? Let's just holler at all of the scats. Let's holler at all of the scatels and be like, who you want to meet? You know what I mean? We could just have a fucking date night with all of the fucking conscious single niggas and all of the ratchets and whatnot in the spirit of saving our sisters. You know what I mean? Because we're going to save them. You know we're going to save them, right? Yeah, we're going to save them. You know what I'm saying? We're going to save them. You know what I mean? Because they looking to be saved. Who you think Sexy Red will link up with? Who's a good link up for Sexy Red? Yeah, I'm gonna let y'all say it. I got my mind on a Sexy Red matchup, but I'll let y'all call it. Who's a good one for good old Sexy? She looking for a daddy. You know what I mean? She looking for a pappy. You know what I'm talking about? You know what I mean? She looking for a pappy. You know what I mean? No, I'm taking. I don't think. You know what I mean? She looking for a pappy. She ain't gonna find one in me. You know what I'm talking about? Her baby needs some new dad. Her baby need a new daddy. Brother Red. Oh my goodness. Well, her and Keys are both from St. Louis. It takes somebody from your hometown to understand, you know, the shit that you like to eat and all of these things. Keep you, you know what I mean? He knows the lingo and the slang. I could see that. I can see that. You know what I'm talking about? I can see that. It said Garfield. Nah, they gotta be equally yoked. You know what I mean? Like I could see Sukiana and Dr. Umar because there's levels of she got confidence on camera. That is, I don't know what's going on when the cameras are off. I'm not there for that. But I know on camera she talks her shit. You know what I mean? And he's a Leo. He talks his shit. You know what I'm saying? So there's a match. You know what I mean? Her and Seti. I don't know. Seti will wind up barking on her. I don't know, man. We'll see. You know what I'm saying? But these ratchets that are out here, you know, doing what they do and whatnot. Malia, I was supposed to meet her. She's kind of on the frequency. You know what I'm saying? She's kind of on the frequency. Yeah, she could get saved. You know, if her and AA get together, they're just gonna make a video that night. You know what I mean? They gonna start an OnlyFans that night. Nah, not AA. You say KT? Nah, KT is taken. I think Seti is married too. You know, it ain't too many conscious kings out there that's single. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? You know, it ain't too many. No, she doesn't need somebody closer to her age. She need an old head. Sexy Red need a nigga with salt and pepper. You know what I'm saying? Sexy Red don't. She gonna run circles around any of you young whippersnappers. That's not a good. No, that's not a good matchup. She needs zaddy energy. You know what I'm talking about? She needs zaddy energy. She needs somebody who could wash her hair. You know, and give her a good massage. You know what I'm talking about? She needs that type of energy. You know, he could wash that weed right out of her hair. You know what I'm saying? If she was with a young boy, it would be young boy activities. You know what I'm talking about? It'd be too much young boy activities. Young boys just want to stretch the coochie. They're not trying to drop. And then the young boys, they consciousness ain't evolved yet. They on that Anunnaki shit. You know what I'm talking about? They on that confusion consciousness. So she'll be on some fifth dimension. She might come back fucked up more than she came in the shit, fucking with these young niggas on that pseudo shit. You know what I'm talking about? Nah. Nigga said Diddy. So he could pee on her? I don't think so. Did you see the electric and the yo? You know what? Yo, Jamaica. I'm glad that you said that. It literally was some shit going on outside of my window, lighting up the sky, but I didn't look through the blinds. I was focused on some other shit, and I did not look through the blind, but I literally saw the sky lighting up. You know what I'm saying? I literally saw the sky lighting up. So I'm gonna go ahead and see. Is there any footage on that? I'm gonna do my homework. If she got with young Pharaoh, that's a nah. That ain't gonna work. That ain't gonna work. That ain't gonna work. It has to be a balance. The reason why the Sukiyana and the Dr. Umar thing is so exciting to people because they're like semi polar opposites. Wait, he got electrocuted in Lakeland. God damn it. Another fucking body at Lake Lanier? Shit. Another body. My goodness. So shit. Now that we dealt with the men, taking throwing on capes and whatnot and saving the ratchets and whatnot, where I saw Erica Badu at a Little Baby concert last night. She was online and she was posting it, and I was like, "Oh, that would be an interesting couple right there. That would be a definitely interesting kind of thing." Who do you think? Who do you think out of the women would be a good match to kind of like some of these ratchet dudes out there, similar to the flip side of a Sexy Red and Umar. For the sisters out there, who you think it would be a good sister to put on some of these dudes that are super toxic and ratchet and leading our children into the wrong path? Who do you think could straighten them up and whatnot? Yeah, she was at the Gilly Fest. Yeah, I saw some of the clips of the Gilly Fest. I'll talk about that in a minute too. These niggas is so out of order. You know what I mean? The Baby and Michi X. I would pay money to hear them argue, yo. That shit would be hilarious. For real, for real. You went to the funeral for Gilly, the kid's son, but that wasn't yesterday. His concert was yesterday. Yeah, Lizzie Jeff. Lizzie and who though? Queen of Pooh and Boozy. I'm gonna rename the show Sacralegious Sundays. Let me go ahead and turn it up. I'm gonna change it right now. We turn it into Sacrilegious Sundays. No, no Sunday service. Let me fix that. Sacrilegious Sundays. You know what I'm saying? Blue Pill is never gonna miss a Sunday again after he sees this shit. He's gonna be like, let me save you niggas from my brother. Sacrilegious. Sacrilegious. I'm gonna put sacral religious, like sacral chakra. Sacrilegious Sundays featuring Red Pillar. We might be onto something, family. Ha! We might be onto something. Sacrilegious Sundays from Red Pill. You know what I'm talking about? When I'm able to, do what I do. You know what I'm saying? And that's be sacrilegious. Yeah, I like how this is going. Yeah, this is what's up. You know what I'm saying? This is what's up. We could talk our sacrilegion, because that's what we need on a Sunday, some sacrilegious. Yeah, you know? And then maybe me and Pope will have a debate one day on Black Magic. You know what I'm talking about? Who knows? Yeah, sacrilegious. So Ty Phoenix, They said Zaza Ali and Young Thugger. I'm done. I'm finished. Kalani and Little Dirk. What are you talking about? Mary J. Blige. Yo, y'all are wildin'. Okay, they held a vigil at the mosque yesterday. Do you care to share how that experience was? I actually shed a tear earlier today watching an interview with Gilly's son who got killed. They call him his name was Cheese. And two young brothers out of Philadelphia who I know. I know one of the brothers. They have a show. They have a YouTube channel, and they was interviewing Cheese and whatnot. Let me go and drop the link for that. I'll go and get the link for that. Because the reason why I say that is because we like to, we. I'm not one of those people. I like to humanize things. So what I mean by that is, the young man deserves to be remembered, you know what I mean, for the person that he was. And he was a very intelligent, he was a good brother, man. He was a good, don't let me sit here and cap. He was a good brother and he had a bright future ahead of him. And that's one of the reasons why kids fell. And, I'm a father and I have a son who is 15 years old. So I feel every single pain. I feel the pain of a lot of the quote unquote parents out there who are dealing with the shit that they're dealing with, you know. And for all of us out here who are parents, you feel me? We could joke on these channels and we could play around and everything, but it's gonna come a time where we gotta get more serious. I don't think that we really on cruise control, just hoping that it don't happen to us. You know what I mean? And we're moving through this shit, and I don't think that we're moving through it. I don't think we're giving enough attention to the plight of the youth. You know, I don't think that we're giving attention to the plight of the youth. Someone was saying that Philly is 45 minutes away from New York and they don't slide through. So it's like hell there. I just was in Philly. I just was in Philly. I was in Philly for the higher level tour. You feel me? And Philly is Philly. You know what I mean? Philly is Philly. Philly been lit. We used to go to the Greek Fest out there. We used to go to Main Street. Philly, but it was never violent like this. My memory of Philly is the jalabins and whatnot, the Muslim movements and shit. When the fuck did the Muslims become killers like this? Because I know it's them putting in some of that work, right? Is it the ball heads or is it the freeway beards and whatnot turning shit up, or is it both of them? They got militant Muslims and whatnot, like they have them in Detroit and Chicago and they kill. You know what I'm talking about? Them niggas kill. You know? Yeah, I used to go to Doom Day. I was all up and down Philly. We would go to Black and Nobel on Broad Street, nigga. Broad Street bully. Late night type shit. We used to be on Broad Street. We used to be outside and whatnot. So I knew that it was I knew when we were going out there, this was like 2009 and 10. You know what I'm talking about? Remember Union Station and they had the bookstore who the elder, he sell DVDs and he had the dope ass bookstore started in Union Station. What was the name of that? They used to carry AA's titles and everybody from New York. I remember we used to go down there with AA. That fentanyl, you know what I mean? That dope, that heroin and whatnot, that dog food, that plays a large part in shit getting out of control. Them pills, them young boys is on them fucking jig, they on them pills, you know? They thrill killing. They thrill killing. I remember coming on YouTube and I was ringing the alarm in 2016 about the bars and the fact that I witnessed personally. I was witness to how rampant the and how, not the word rampant, I bear witness to the youth and their drug addictions and how dangerous that shit was, because I didn't know about thrill killing. I didn't know about thrill killing. I didn't know about yeah, one of my peoples from New York is addicted to Molly in Atlanta. A nigga that I was real cool with. You know what I'm saying? A person that's on my heart. You know what I mean? This nigga's addicted to Molly, and I think the Molly addiction put him on crack or something because he's fucked up in these streets. And he's a legend from Brooklyn, you know? And I was made aware of the Percocets in what they call bars, right? The bars and whatnot. So these young niggas was taking these drugs and they was taking these pills and shit, and they was going on drills to kill. Yeah. Being on the pills makes it easier for them to drill. Cause I was like, what the hell? I was like, what the hell does the pills do? And it was like, it takes the emotions away. I was like, wow. So there were stories of young men, almost like the Incredible Hulk, right? Remember the TV show, The Incredible Hulk, right? Because that was one of my favorites. I'm a 70s baby. So, I used to watch Bill Bixby, the original Incredible Hulk, niggas. Lou Ferrigno, man. You know what I'm talking about? The real Incredible Hulk. You know what I'm saying? With the fucking show, with the with Mr. McGee, nigga. With Mr. McGee. Molly is actually crystal meth. Yeah, that shit got niggas fucked up. You know what I'm talking about? That shit got niggas fucked up. I seen Kensington when I went to Philly. I passed through Philly in November because I was going to New York. I passed through Philly. I spent the night out there, and I was near Kensington. Scary scene, y'all. Shit was scary as F. I promise you. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, niggas should just definitely do shrooms and stop playing with these other fucking drugs because it's going crazy. But in the original Hulk, he would go on a rampage after Hulk, and he would wake up the next morning as Bruce Banner. He would know what the fuck just happened. Nigga, you was up all night destroying shit. That's what happened. You see that hole in the wall, nigga? You did that. So they was waking up after going on these drug induced rampages, and they was waking up in jail cells with murder one counts. They waking up with paperwork, right? They waking up and shit with a piece of paper folded on them, and they look at the folder and it say count one, felony, A1 murder, carjacking, right? Carjacking, murder, robbery, possession of a weapon. What the fuck? Oh, get me out of here! Call my lawyer, right? Not even realizing that they was possessed. You understand? They getting possessed by these chemicals and whatnot, and it's turning them into killers because you mix the lean or you mix the pills in with the lower frequency murder music or the drill music, boop, and it's on and popping. And you go into the gas. I'm speaking to everybody listening to me right now, right? Whether you have a firearm or you don't, when you in these hoods and you pulling up to these gas stations on a not it's not even a late night no more. You feel me? It's day broad daylight too. Just pay attention to your surroundings first and foremost. Now I don't want to put anybody in any type of fear or whatnot, but this is the big homie talk right here. This is about safety over everything. You feel me? Because we have children, we have loved ones, we have parents, and all of these they need to know these things because the way that we moved a few years ago should not be the same way that we're moving anymore. You almost have to move militant in these streets. You know what I mean? They running around. I seen a video where a car pulled up, a man got out and snatched a little fucking child off the streets and threw her in the car and drove off. My heart sunk when I saw that. I don't know these children. My heart sunk looking at some shit like that. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Is this what they're doing and whatnot? So I'm like, nah, you got to be ready to drill these niggas, man. It's gotten to that right now because you're not dealing with people who are underneath the quote unquote, they're underneath possession. I call it demon possession. It's nothing else but demon possession. When I'm in these stores in Atlanta and I'm in these gas stations and I'm looking at these young little niggas looking emaciate, what's the word? When you look like your whole face is drawn in and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? They looking hungry like them fucking hyenas and shit. You know what I mean? I'm like, these little niggas is possessed. They possessed, bro. So you can't you can't necessarily reason with a demon. So when they say demon time, they really mean it. Emaciated. Emaciated. You know what I'm talking about? That's what they look. You know? They look like NBA young boy. Cause he don't look healthy no more. I don't know what's going on with the young boy. Let's look at NBA young boy. You know, they talk about Jamie Foxx. The fuck is going on with NBA young boy? You know what I mean? Like he don't look healthy, you know, and some of that has to do with, you know, the entities that people are fucking with and playing around with, you know, when they're tapping into the lowest rungs, right, of their chakra. They're going past the red chakra. They're going past the red chakra, you know? Imagine being on lean and watching World Star. Imagine being on Xannies and Percocets and watching World Star. You're done. You're fish fried. You're cooked, my nigga. You feel me? You're fucking cooked. You know? So I'm saying that to say, just keep, you know, I be telling y'all, yo, keep your head on swivel. Yeah, for real, for real. Please keep your head on fucking swivel because, you know, you're dealing with demons right now. And until we could come up with some type of a repellent to spray these niggas with, until we could figure that out, you're gonna have to spray them with the Draco, my friends. That's what you're gonna have to do. You're gonna have to spray them with the Draco because we dealing with the apocalypse thing that they were talking about, this whole zombie apocalypse. Well, goddamn it, we're here. We've arrived. You know what I'm talking about? We've arrived at the zombie apocalypse. People think, oh, the zombies are going to be, you know, the Hollywood version of what they told us. Some people coming up from the dead and whatnot. No, these niggas is dead. They're living dead, right? This is not the same young boy from a few months ago. Not to say that he got cloned, but the boy is sick. You know what I'm talking about? The boy is sick. He's a millionaire. He shouldn't look like that, right? So when I be saying it's like a sick dog, right? They got rabies. You know when your dog, you know Old Yeller. You ever remember Old Yeller? You know what I mean? When they start getting and when they start looking like that, when you own a, and I'm not calling a young man a dog, please. Like, did y'all see that? Did I share it? You know, all of them. They all, yes, yeah. Kodak is tweaking. These little niggas is tweaking. You know what I'm talking about? Did y'all see the screen when I shared it just now? You know? But yeah, we need a repellent. We got to repel that energy from us because that energy is it's a demonic energy. You know what I mean? That's a demonic energy and it knows no boundaries. These little niggas is on real hard drugs. You feel me? Yeah, he down bad. He down bad. And if you got multimillionaires who got 50 million followers, 100 million followers, right? They're affecting their audience because these dudes are living through them, right? Y'all lived vicariously through an artist before. I did. I could admit it. As a young man and whatnot, I lived vicariously through a few artists and whatnot. And if they was doing bad, I was doing bad. If they said that we smoking this, nigga, or not really smoking this, because when I was listening to the music and I was younger, they was only smoking weed. You know what I mean? I was convinced to smoke weed through listening to rap because I resisted it for a while long. People would think I started smoking trees later in life, you know? And but they would have us drinking all kind of we drinking Armadale, we drinking Belvedere, we drinking Incredibles, Incredible Hulk, we drinking Henny on the Road, we drinking Thug Passion, right? We drinking all of these different things. So I was following these artists and whatnot, drinking what they drink. So the same way that we was doing it like that, these young children and whatnot, the fans of these artists, they're taking the drugs that the artists were referring to or referencing in their music, Molly Percocets. Yeah, Meek looking bad too. You know what I'm talking about? And that's not from going vegan. Niggas is looking horrible in these streets. You feel me? They looking bad, bro. I'm like, so you getting all of that money to do what? You would think that the money would help you improve. I mean, because that's what they have the average person thinking. I just gotta get my money right. Then you know what I'm saying. I'm gonna snap into. Nah, these niggas is getting so much money that they having survivor's guilt, and they're dealing with levels of escapism. They're trying to get off the fucking planet. The amount of drugs that they're taking to escape. They trying to leave the galaxy, y'all. You know what I mean? They might be doing it to look for creative inspiration. They might be doing it to run away from their pain. They might be doing it to, some of them were born addicted. We have to keep that in mind that this new generation, a lot of them were born addicted. That's an anomaly that my generation wasn't, we didn't see things like that because a lot of us we wasn't born addicted. The shit that was plaguing our community was heroin. It was heroin. And I don't remember or recall being in school with a lot of children who was like dope fiends. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, we was fucking with the angel dust. Yeah, definitely on that angel dust. You know. But these children they born addicted. So what they call junkie culture. Junkie culture. This junkie culture that we're witnessing, it's not that far fetched. We got to put one and two together. Yeah, they rich crack babies. You know what I'm talking about? That's what they are. And I'm not judging. I'm just pointing it out so we can have a better way of seeing it. But however, have you ever heard, even from the governmental aspects, these niggas being caught for all of their charges, they take them to court, they put them on trial, from the Supreme Court or from the highest rungs of criminal court all the way down to the podcast. Has anybody that y'all ever heard even address the fact that we're dealing with crack babies? You know, I know the young Dolph called himself that, but from a correctional point of view, from a point of view where they're trying to help, you know what I'm saying, these children who are crying out and whatnot. Has anybody naturally approached this situation from that standpoint? I don't recall. I don't recall. They kind of gloss over that. Once again, here you go counting people's money and whatnot, And what the fuck does that have to do with anything? Is health wealth, or is the shit that you got in your bank account wealth? Please, somebody talk to me, because I'm cool with people making statements and everything, but sometimes we have to make statements that are confounded in some type of research. You know what I mean? We're not here to talk. It doesn't matter if he has $6 million or $6. The money means nothing. He just has more money to buy more drugs, and he has a house to do crack in. You feel me? So if they say health is wealth, it's not just a cute saying and whatnot. It's not just it's not. They don't say it because it rhymes and whatnot. It is it's 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 a universal principle. You feel me? Stephen Jobs, who was the head of what is a $1 trillion company now called Apple, right? Stephen Jobs, the one who gave us the iPhone, he could not stay alive long enough to see his company reach $1 trillion because his health was compromised. So all of that money shit goes out the window. It doesn't mean anything. You feel me? It doesn't mean anything. You gotta have your health, your mental health. You feel me? You gotta have your mental health intact. You want your physical health intact. And you damn sure want your spiritual health intact. So there's some people who would say, yo, I forsake all of that shit. I rebuke all of that fiat and all of these zeros in the bank account if I could only have my health back. If I could defecate without being constipated. If I could walk without it hurting my feet because I have gout. You feel me? Being able to turn because I have all of these knots in my back, and I have, the neck has a crook in it. People are living in internal pain and whatnot. There's some people that have holes in their hearts, like the good brother Gilly the Kid. He put a post up and he said he'll never be healed. And he'll always have a hole in his heart because he had to bury his son. You feel me? So he's dealing with mental health. They gave him 100 million, right? And I know some people who would want to switch places with him because they don't see the power in themselves and whatnot. So they would want to, I don't want my life. I want to live Gilly's life. And they'd be like, cool, go put your ass in his shoes. And then you get in his shoes and you faint because the level of weight that his heart is carrying and whatnot, you niggas, your legs ain't strong enough for that. You understand? So for people to be chasing that fucking rabbit and whatnot, I'm here to let you know, chase health, and you will begin to manifest wealth. But don't do it the other way around. Don't sacrifice your health for the perception of wealth, and it's not even real. You can't take it with you, and your children more than likely is gonna fuck it up when you leave. You understand? So yeah, Virgil is gone. My nigga Black Panther, T'Challa is gone. The fuck does money have to do with anything, bro? That's the goofiest shit that I heard all morning during this sacrilegious Sunday. But it's all good because we've been programmed as a culture. They think that saying that health is wealth is goofy. And it's sick niggas that say that it'll be a sick nigga to be like, that's goofy with a pregnant belly. You know what I mean? And these are the people that you let take control over your fucking mind and your subconsciousness. It's a goddamn shame. What about genetic illness? Well, genetic, you mean that it was passed down and it's genetic? Yeah. We have to, there's ways to deal with that as well. You know what I'm saying? So many intelligent people in this community. There's so many intellects around us. There's the Yaki Awakens. There's the KT the Arch degrees. There's the I could go on for days. We got scientists. So I've seen multiple genetic diseases get tackled. But there's no magic pills and there's no magic elixirs and whatnot. You gotta, if you're gonna do something, it's gonna be similar to how you do anything. You gotta fucking put your elbow into that shit. You have to work it. You understand? You gotta work it. You gotta cook. You gotta really you gotta be responsible for your own shit. Go a little bit deeper. You wanted something with this one right here. Axum. Drugs were here before the internet. The digital dopamine they get from surfing the web is the magic elixir that is flipping these kids to demon time. Yes. But you ever went on the web when you was on shrooms, fam? You ever try to go online while you was on 5 fucking grams, bro? See, I've never did lean. You know what I'm talking about? And I have not done the lean. I haven't done Percocets. I haven't done opiates. You feel me? I haven't had the pleasure of having a fucking opiates in my system. So I don't know how that shit interfaces with digital devices. But what I could tell you is if you try to interface with a digital device on shrooms, you're gonna get fucked up. Especially if you tap into some low level shit. If you go on YouTube on shrooms to watch some of these niggas argue with each other and to pretend, or if you go on Instagram and your timeline is super ratchet and is unbalanced, you're gonna have a bad trip. Okay? You're gonna have a bad trip. So, yes, these children are tapping into this digital dopamine and whatnot, but they're also defocalized. They have pharmacopoeia in their system and whatnot. They already are defocalized and they have chemicals in their system, and those chemicals are accelerating their psychosis. Yes. So, yeah, it's a combination of the two. It's not just digital dopamine just off of scrolling through the fucking gram and it turns you into a demon. Hell yeah, you see on shrooms. That shit gives you a third eye. I saw it, bro. It was a scary sight to see. I would just leave it at that. I unfollowed a gang of people after that experience because I saw what I needed to see out of them, and it took me being on the shrooms, and it put it peeled the veil. It put a pair of glasses on, and it peeled the veil back. You know what I mean? There's a veil that some of us have when we're looking at people and we're not able to see what we need to see because there's a fucking veil over our eyes. But things like shroom will remove those veils, then you get to see what you get to see. But me personally, I don't suggest that anybody take shrooms and interface with nothing digital, right? Nothing artificial. You know what I'm saying? How do shrooms feel? How do you think? You know what I'm talking about? It feels crazy. It feels great. You know what I mean? It takes you there. It takes you there. Yeah, it takes you to 5D. It definitely takes you there. It makes you what you gonna call it? It makes you very psychic, very very psychic. You begin to pick up on all kind of things. I tell people this, and I'll just leave it at that because I don't want to be on here endorsing Schedule of ones and whatnot. You know what I mean? That's not what's up in this in whole Biden administration era that we in. I tell people this: the boomies or what they call the shrooms is similar to when you put your phone from your data plan to your Wi-Fi, and then the shit just start. You know what I mean? You ever had on a data plan you might be on YouTube or you might be surfing and whatnot, and there's a lag and it's somewhat slow and whatnot. There's almost a barrier or some type of buffer that's restricting you. But when you switch it to Wi Fi, shit goes faster, your downloads are coming quicker, and the buffer is removed. That's what shrooms are. To break it down in layman's term, I think Scooby Doo definitely was on shrooms. I don't know what I think he was on heavy shrooms. Him and fucking Shaggy Doo, nigga. You know what I mean? Him and Shaggy Doo. Yeah, don't be around nothing digital. Cause As you can see, that digital shit is fucking us up. And the shroom, being on the shroom, it makes you sensitive because all of your senses are heightened. You understand? Your stimuli, the things that stimulate you are heightened. That's why a lot of people like to smash on the boomies and whatnot, because you could really have a heavy orgasm on the shrooms if you do it right. So we already knew that the Wi-Fi was fucking us up. We knew Bluetooth was killing us. We know that the blue light is killing us, and we know that the electronic shit. This is a trade-off that we're doing right now. I'm trading off some part of my health to be live to talk to niggas around the world right now. That's the fucking trade-off. You know what I mean? I'm acknowledging that. You know what I mean? I know that it's a trade-off. You know what I'm saying? I'm just so confident in my powers and whatnot, where I'm like, you know what? It's not gonna affect me. I'm God. But when you get on them shrooms and your senses is heightened, nigga, you'll know what the fuck the electronics is doing you, because the shit feels like kryptonite. Straight like that. It feels like kryptonite. It could literally sit your ass down. It could put you on the floor laid out. You know? Yeah, exercising helps. Yeah, you do upside down push-ups. You know, that can accelerate things. You know, you said it crushes the ego. Yeah, to a degree. To a degree, the real ego crusher is the toad, the bufu. You know what I mean? Bufu avilaris, 5-MeO DMT. That crushes the ego. That really slams the ego. And also the ayahuasca, you know. And once again, I'll say it again. If it's chemical based, like acid, LSD, and all of that, I'm a heavy no. I'm a hard fucking no. I'm a heavy ass no. I'm a no, my nigga. Don't do it to yourself. Fuck out of here with that. No chemical. Like if it's made out of a lab, you don't do it. Woo, like I said, your senses are heightened. So the sense that I'm talking about is hearing. You're gonna hear music for what it's really made for. I recommend the classics, respectfully. Don't fish fry yourself and try to listen to some of this new jokey shit. And it's at that 404, and it's dealing with those simps and whatnot that are like fucking funeral music. You don't want that. You don't want that. I say jazz, I say soul music from the soul and whatnot. You will have an orgasmic experience if you tap into the right frequency of music and whatnot, while underneath turn the lights out too, or be in the woods, be in the nature and whatnot, have some Bluetooth setups and just blast the music, and you'll get turned up. You'll get turned up. You know, I might do a show on shrooms one day, a musical show, like a performance. You know what I'm saying? I might do a performance because, yeah, that shit, you could tap into a part of yourself that is not necessarily on the surface, a part of yourself that you got to dig deep to pull up, real fucking deep into yourself to pull out. The shrooms could help you with that. You know, it could assist you with that. You know, Frank Ocean on the shrooms. You know, they said that Travis Scott, when I was reading the review and whatnot, because one thing about Travis Scott that I won't take away from him is visually, from the visual experience, his videos, his visual output, there's nobody in hip hop that does what he does. You understand? His design, his language, because once again, if you're not an artist, if you're not in the arts, I would say respectfully, don't speak on it, because you'll be speaking from how you feel, and nobody gives a that how you feel and what you heard and all of that other stuff. That's not art. We're talking about the artistic aspect of the visual. He's a visual artist, right? So his visuals is crazy. I'm telling you, his visuals is unlike anything that I've probably seen before. Um, yeah, sentimental mood, definitely. Super, super, yeah, Coltrane. That shit unlocks. It heals trauma. I promise you. And he is the best sonically. Like he's doing things that these artists should learn. And I'm not talking about how people accuse whatever they accuse him of. I'm not talking about that. I'm not here to have that conversation. I'm just talking about the art. Because even when you look at the videos, there's 100,000 videos that are disrespecting your eyeballs, and before you even get to one of his videos, you got to deal with all of that low level scud bucket shit that these niggas be putting out. You know what I mean? They don't have no thought to it, no type of artistic flair. You feel me? And none of that. You know what I'm saying? None of that. Somebody said he's on demon time. You got to show me. Show me where. You got to show me. You know what I'm saying? You might not understand who he is as an artist to say that he's on demon time. You understand? What he is on is psychedelics. You know, that's what he's on. He's a psychedelic artist. And it took me reviewing his this last project, Utopia, and I'm doing my research. I'm watching videos, the review of the album. I'm going and I'm reading shit. So he's known and he's a psychedelic artist. So yeah, they call him Cactus Jack because he fucks with the mescaline. You know what I mean? He's a shroom artist. You feel me? He brought a lot of that shit to the industry about that. The whole industry is on shrooms right now. Not the whole industry, but a lot of these niggas is on shrooms. You understand? And um, you're beginning to hear the change in the art. Like Little Yachty, what's his name? Two Chains is pushing the shroom shit heavy. All of these niggas in Atlanta, bottom line, they all shroomed out. Nigga, Little Boozy is on shrooms. Little Boozy. Lil Boozy is one of the reasons why the hood is on shrooms right now, but that's a whole nother story. But they're experimenting. They're going through their experiment. As you can see, right? What's the fashion? Right? What's the fashion? What's the fashion in Atlanta right now? Gallery department, right? Bell bottoms, right? Niggas is wearing knitted hats and everything. They're doing the 70s look again, right? Because they're on a hippie shit, right? So whereas somebody might be like, because once again, this is sacrilegious Sundays. So we not here to sound like we fucking goody two shoes and whatnot. We just here to strip away all of that fake shit that y'all be on and just get right to it. You know what I mean? Because I'm not here for the play. You know what I'm talking about? I'm in my 40s. So I'm not on the internet trying to impress people and make them feel like I'm some, you know what I mean? Like I float on clouds and whatnot. And that's just not what it's enough niggas out here fronting and playing parts and playing roles that you don't need me. You don't need me for that. You know what I'm talking about? You got them for that. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna give it straight, no chaser. So the industry, a lot of these industry dudes are embracing the hippie look because they're on hippie drugs. So somebody would be like, "Oh, shrooms is." I would say, "Shit, shrooms over lean." I would say shrooms over Molly Percocets. I would say shrooms over crack. I would say shrooms over all of the other drugs that these niggas was on prior to being on shrooms. So it's the lesser of two evils in a sense, right? We're not here to police nobody because I don't have the power to police grown people, right? I have powers, but that's not one of them. You know what I'm saying? People got to pull themselves up by their bootstraps and be responsible for the shit that they're into and whatnot. And I'm just here to, I'm gonna report on you when shit goes wrong and when things go right for you. That's just my role. you know, and I'm not here to judge. But what I do know is that when I see these artists transitioning into natural plant-based quote unquote medicines, and even if they're using it as recreational and whatnot, it is a lot better than where they were on a certain frequency when they were tapping into lab grown chemicals. Because ever since ecstasy took over, everything after that has been from a lab in Israel. Everything, even to the point where the weed is from the labs now. So all of this shit is lab. It's all chemicals. It's all Dr. Mindbender type stuff. Yeah, I'm talking about. Yes, for my over 50s, Uncle Red or Cousin Red is here. I'm your bridge. You feel me? I'm your bridge. I got one foot into the young world, and I got another foot into the quote unquote, into the eldership and whatnot. So I'm that bridge. I'm here to interpret. You feel me? I'm here to translate the culture so the young people can understand some of the things coming from the 70s and the 80s and from the minds of the elders, right? So the youth could understand, oh, y'all not tripping, or I'm here to remind people of things that happened before they were even born, right? But also for the elders or the olders out there, I'm here to help you understand what's going on in the world of the youth. What could sometimes seem to be, you could be aloof to it, and then you wind up picking up on what's going with the random shit people say on the internet. And I'm here to let you know 8 out of the 10 things that you see on the internet is bullshit. It doesn't come from research. You understand? The dude got exposed in a debate with the white boy, young Pharaoh. His whole doctrine was bullshit. You understand? From the beginning, and many of y'all are his children, the young people who came in. So y'all came in on bullshit, and your teachers were bullshit artists and whatnot who confused you more than they helped you. And somebody has to figure out how to help you niggas shake that shit because it's becoming a plague. You know what I mean? Smart, dumb niggas. You know what I'm talking about? It's worse than knuckle draggers. I would rather a nigga who don't know shit. I would rather a fucking 85 a nincompoop rather than to deal with some of these zanny ass niggas who don't know what the fuck they talking about and they just be rambling. Rambling. Smart dummies. And they got y'all convinced that they deep and whatnot, but they don't know shit. I promise you. You'll find out sooner than later. But if anybody watched that debate and if you're still in denial, then that's on you. You know what I'm talking about? That's on you. It's a lot of people who stay in relationships while they're getting abused and beat the fuck up and whatnot, and they don't know how they fucking pull themselves out of it. It's the same thing. Y'all are in relationship. Y'all are in abusive relationships. These teachers are abusing you with their falsehoods and their false narratives and their lies and their quote unquote pseudo shit. They're abusing you. You know what I mean? That's what they're doing. And some people like that shit. So whatever. Yeah, YSL sacrificing goats. Now, who heard I brought it up before? Are we still having class? Yes, we're having class later today, though. It's going to be at 8 p.m. Eastern. I want to tell that to all of my students for Solid Gold Sundays. We're having class at 8 p.m. The good brother Chicago Crypto, he has an affair to take care of, and he will be available at 8 p.m. And I'm going to send that email out to all of the students with the link so we can link up at 8 p.m. Now, check this out. I had brought up the fact when Young Thug had got into trouble earlier, when he first got into trouble, right? I threw it out there. I said, well, according to my sources, Young Thug is into the IFA, right? Because before Young Thug was on IFA, 21 Savage, and there was another nigga running around with the beads and whatnot, and they was pumping Ifa in Atlanta. Because if you live in Atlanta, if you remember in the year 2017, around that time, the big rave was niggas was getting scratched, and they was getting into the African religions and whatnot. But that was not to basically, to be a good fucking citizen. They were using the African traditions or the dark magics and whatnot to help protect them in the darkness, right? So, we've seen it before, and I've said it before. Keep in mind, all of the, all of the movements that popped up, right, of drug dealers, the drug dealer gangs, the drug dealer cults, the quote unquote cartels, right? All of these quote unquote cartels and these movements, especially out of the Caribbean, all of them were founded, and all of them had magic behind them, right? So you hear stories about the Dominicans, right? There was a story about I seen a story about a dude. He was on a podcast, and he was a robber, right? He used to rob drug dealers. So he was like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? We was in because everybody knew in New York, you don't rob the Dominicans. You understand? You don't fuck with them because they have a power that's protecting them. That y'all Christian niggas and you niggas that are in you regular basic niggas, you don't understand what you're fucking with. So if you rob them, if you even try to go rob them, you're gonna get your shit pushed back because they're already gonna be hip to you coming for them because they got the motherfucking they got the pot in the closet, right? They're dealing with the magic and whatnot. They got a reading to tell them. They got the Santeria that told you that, you know what I'm saying? The reading was like, a nigga is coming for you. Be prepared. So you run up and whatnot, and you think that you got the drop on them, and they already set you up because they already have foresight, right? So people was like, "Ooh, that's interesting." But when they really realize it, when I was breaking it down, right? I was like, "Look, not only is it the Dominicans, the Haitians got the voodoo. That's the Zoes. You understand? The Jamaicans got the voodoo. That's the Obia man, right? There was a story of a young man when we was in Flatbush. If anybody's from Flatbush and you in a call and whatnot, I didn't do roll call, but if anybody's from Flatbush, you heard about Babyface. You remember the Babyface story. So Babyface was a young man whose brother, he wasn't in the streets like that. They killed his brother in Flatbush. Babyface went to Jamaica, and he had the Obia man he went through a ritual, and the Obia man made a pouch for him, and in the pouch had the talisman, right? So what the Obia man was able to do for him is he said, I'm going to grant you these powers and whatnot, where you could basically kill your brother's enemies, right? But if you abuse this power, then you're going to be cursed. So use the power of what we've given you to get revenge, but don't use it for anything else. What the fuck did he use it for? Something else. So after he killed off all of his enemies, he killed off all of the people that was responsible for his brother, he became a for hire killer, right? He became a killer for hire, right? There's stories in the newspaper, the Daily News, my ninjas, in the New York Post, where they was on Babyface's tail. For me, he got away from the police at least 4 times. I'm talking about they ran down, they cornered him, they had him in the car. They ran down on the car, guns drawn and everything, and he was nowhere to be found. They chased him across the building roof, had him, they was on his tail. This nigga disappeared. I'm talking about he was rocking them, bro. He was rocking them. So he was showing us in New York, that that shit is real and whatnot. But he's in jail. He came to Atlanta and he killed somebody over a parking space. And he came all the way down to Georgia to Atlanta, and he murked a nigga over a parking space. And then that's when he got arrested and his powers went away and whatnot because he went against the oath. He went against what he agreed to. So you got the Haitians who use the voodoo, right? Haitian, I'm talking about drug dealers, not the regular fucking hate, not Granny and them. I'm talking about the niggas that's outside killing shit, drilling shit, moving weight. You got the Colombians when Pablo Escobar and all of them before they became known like that. These niggas was in the forest of Colombia doing magic. They call them the Invisibles. Are you fucking dumb? Okay? They called them the Invisibles. These niggas was disappearing. Exactly. They couldn't catch Pablo Escobar. He was literally invisible. Okay? So black magic or the quote unquote sacred arts has been very prominent in the underworld for many decades. It's, you know what I mean? They are heavily trenched in the magics because they have to be invisible, they have to be protected. It was even said to me from somebody who knows how this shit really gets down. They was like, think about it. What is cocaine? Cocaine is a leaf. It's a coca leaf. Where's the coca leaf? You find it in the forest, right? So what else is in the forest? When you break down what Palo Mayombe is, that's the sticks. All of these things, all of these religions and whatnot, all of these quote unquote practices are from the quote unquote woods, right? It's from the forest. It has to do with the root. It has to do with the root, right? You said Tariq spoke on root work. I'm gonna check that out. It has to deal with the root, right? The backwoods, right? So the same fucking forest that people is out there, growing their weed and whatnot, because weed is grown where, right? Weed is grown in the forest, right? Coke is in the forest, in the mountains, right? So the same places where the plants are at is the same places where the magic is at. You understand? So they were doing spells in the forest over the drugs to make it invisible. Sacrificing goats, chopping up pigeons, killing a few roosters. You know what I'm saying? To make sure that the fucking work gets to where it needs to go. That's why a lot of these cartels are from the Caribbean and whatnot. You understand? Not just because it's grown there, but they're willing to they're willing to go to the lengths. And then in Mexico, when you see the 800, when you see the 50 heads beheaded on the side of the highway, you know what I'm saying? Go and look up. There is it's a spiritual war that they're fighting in Mexico. It's not a cartel drug war. Don't fall for the okie doke. It's a spiritual war. It's spiritual warfare. Some of those cartels are Satanists, okay? Or what they would define as Satanists and whatnot. Yeah, they deal with the bones too. Of course, they throwing bones, they throwing all of that, right? But these are Satanists. Some of these cartels are fucking Satanists. That's why if your ass get caught by them, you mince meat. You're gonna get sacrificed. They're gonna chop you up. You're gonna be a part of a ritual. They're gonna kill you 8 times. You know what I'm saying? On different dimensions and whatnot. You don't want to fuck with people who you can't fight back. All right. So the war in Mexico, let me pull it up. I'm gonna show you. They call it's not a drug war, right? The cartels are selling the drugs to finance certain things. It's a spiritual war, right? It's a spiritual war between the Roman Catholic Church, right? Who wants dominance over the bodies and shit. You understand? They still want dominance over the bodies of their quote unquote, they want whatchamacallit, they want control over the minds and the bodies of their adherents. You understand? They don't want that shit to be interrupted by these quote unquote other movements. But here you go. Santa Muerte and the spiritual realities of the drug war. The occult Mexican folk sank is a very old enemy, manifesting in a new way, and it has come to America, right? So a lot of these niggas is dealing with the plugs, right? You want to have on some big me shit. The big thing to talk about is to have a Mexican cartel connect, right? But what niggas don't realize is they're fucking with something that they can't, they don't have. You a simple Christian, nigga. You a simple Christian. You don't have what it takes. These niggas will cook you, bro. You a simple ass Christian. You know what I'm talking about? Or you got jailhouse Islam, nigga. You're not fucking with this shit right here. Okay? This is the goddess of death, nigga. You know what I mean? And they feed their entities. So that's what the beheadings are. You niggas is not built for that. You don't feed your entities like that. You're not built to feed, you're not built for that. So don't even play in a game that you're not built for. So yeah, all up in Texas, right? They got these altars inside of the trap, right? They got these altars, right? Santa Morete, right? Morete is dead. That's the Morete. If you hear the nigga say Morete, keep it moving. Okay? So there's a spiritual war, right? They resurrected this deity, and she's the quote unquote, and they also have a dude and whatnot, but they have trap gods, right? Like how Future said, pray to the trap god. There's a fucking trap god. Stop playing. In the hood, we call it pimp god charade and whatnot. They have trap gods all around the world. Okay? The holy death. They got trap gods all around the world. So, like I'm saying, in Jamaica, there's a trap god. In Haiti, there's a trap god. In Mexico, there's a trap god. You niggas don't have that. Dominican Republic, trap god. Niggas in the hood don't got a trap god. You got pimp god charade. That's it. But they're feeding their deities. So they're doing beheadings. They're killing these roosters and chickens. You know what I mean? They might even be doing sacrifices of children and whatnot. Who knows? But these niggas are not playing these games with y'all. So stay far away from that shit because you don't know what you're getting into. I would highly recommend that you get the don't play with it. Don't play with it. Don't play with it. Don't play with it. Don't get in their scopes. Don't cross them. Don't take nothing from them. Don't promise them nothing. Fuck, don't even do a reading for them. Stay far away from that world. That's a little too dark for the average adherent of consciousness to play in. You know what I'm saying? I'm just giving you the heads up. You're not built for that right now. You niggas be thinking that y'all on y'all Bobby Hemmett shit. Y'all just be nosediving into anything. And then I got to see you niggas walking down 125th Street talking to yourself with no Bluetooth. You will get lined up. You know what I'm saying? They putting out big hexes on niggas. Yeah, Matamoros. So when you see all of them people getting whacked in Mexico, and you see all of them people that Escobar and them was whacking in Colombia and things of that nature, those whacks, right? The fact that they was able to pop up and kill judges and disappear and whatnot, they was killing police chiefs, they was killing judges, they was killing lawyers, they was killing all kind of people. And then they was escaping, they was just disappearing. They were dealing with high level of magic, y'all. Don't get it fucked up. They won't tell you that. They won't admit that. They won't show you that blatantly. You seen it in Godfather of Harlem. Who saw Godfather of Harlem? You saw Spanish Harlem. Where was he? He was in the closet with his fucking he was getting readings and whatnot. He was feeding his altar. Remember when Bumpy had to do the business with the drug lords in Spanish Harlem? He was in his altar. Yeah, and the gods are never satisfied. You always got to keep feeding them. They are Seymour from Little Shop of Horrors. Feed me, Seymour. Right? They're the Venus flytrap from Little Shop of Horrors. You got to keep feeding them. You got to keep feeding them. So yeah, you got people in the feds with 100 bodies. They don't give a fuck. You got people with mad bodies and whatnot, but they don't care because they're feeding these gods. They would rather go to jail than to get cursed by these entities or these deities that they're locked in with They're like, I don't shit, on some vibes cartel shit, right? So now when you look at some of these people looking demonic and whatnot, it begins to make sense because you like, because so why they blind you and they're talking about Illuminati, 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 this person is Illuminati. No, you niggas is devils. You devil worshiping. You understand? And I mean that in a literal sense. You dealing with demonic shit. You niggas is tapped into some demon shit, and y'all worse than the fucking Illuminati. Don't talk to me. You blinding us with this Illuminati talking this Freemasonry shit, but y'all really out here drinking goat's blood, and y'all really out here tapping into some shit that you shouldn't be tapping into, especially because you out here living a super duper, foul ass lifestyle. You know what I mean? And then they'll try to entice our children to be a part of that lifestyle. So I think that there's more levels of selling out for people buying into some dark shit that they have no understanding of, and they can't stand on it. They don't have the power to stand on top of it. So it's gonna stand on them. You understand? So I'm like, when I see people and I'm looking at them, I'm like, this nigga looks possessed. Now I have a better understanding of what that possession is. You understand? I have a better understanding of what that possession is. Yeah, they are possessed. They damn sure are possessed, and they're dealing with entities that they probably can't even shake off of them. Let me show you how they look. Let me show you how some of these artists look, and you tell me if you see possession or not. It's not just a face tat, nigga. It's not just the bad ink on there. It's not just the fucking the ink drying up on their face that's making them look bad and whatnot. It's the fact that they have. Have you ever done an exorcism or bear witness to it? People literally have entities in them. I've seen multiple exorcisms take place where the entity jumped out of them. Tell me this nigga is not entity, that they don't have entities in them. You see entities anywhere, y'all? I'm just guess. I'm randomly. You know, would you leave your child in a room with one of these people while you went to ShopRite? Would you? Could they babysit your newborn? Would you leave them with your 10-year-old, right, while you went away? And if you say no, then I would say to you, well, guess what? They're with your 10-year-old, probably you're with them. You know what I'm saying? Because they're in a tape deck. They're in their headphones, right? So when they say that they on demon time, yeah, they on demon time. You damn right they on demon time. But what demons are we talking about? What's the demons that we talking about? And I know my Jamaican niggas is gonna get upset because I'm throwing Vibes Cartel out there. But come on, fam. This is Jamaica we talking about. Jamaica's a paradise. The fucking you could pull, can't you just pull fruit off the trees and eat it? Everybody that I talk to be like, yo, Jamaica's a paradise. These niggas don't look like they come from paradise. They not looking paradisal. So there's a lot of shit going on behind the scenes, and these people are dealing with a lot of demonic shit because think about it. In order to survive, if I'm in a drug gang and you niggas is working obia and I'm not, guess who's about to get taken out? If I'm in Jamaica and I'm doing obia, right, and my ops don't got obia, I promise you I'm gonna have the drop on them. You know what I mean? Because it works. It's not like it's not accurate, nigga. GPS works, right? If you install GPS on your phone and you try to get somewhere, 9 times out of 10, that lady that's telling you to make a left, she's gonna get you where you gotta go. That's the same thing that works with these magical systems. They are gonna tell you what the fuck you need to do, and they are accurate in what it is. They are GPS systems. They are GPS systems. Uh, but where it goes wrong is that when you stop feeding them, right? When you stop feeding these entities, that's when it goes wrong. And that's when you wind up like this guy. You understand? He's not necessarily going through what he's going through because he's going through what he's going through. He's going through what he's going through is because he got cursed. Because he was fucking with something and he didn't fulfill what he was supposed to fulfill. And then he was getting arrogant about it. And that's what you're seeing. He went to jail and what happened? His sister died. His baby mama died. One of his proteges died, right? From the overdose. Yak Gotti, which one was it, right? What he got denied bail 4 or 5 times. Niggas is snitching on him. All kind of shit is going wrong for Slime. Why? He's cursed. You understand? Because he was fucking with something that a lot of these street niggas in Atlanta is fucking with, and he thought that he was bigger than the craft. He thought he was bigger than the witchcraft. He thought Keed and whatnot. He thought that he was bigger than the fuck. He thought that he was big slime, and he thought that that slime shit was bigger than the fucking craft. So he got sat down. You understand how the craft works? He got sat down. So now the other day, an article popped up just to verify what the fuck we was talking about. Like, stop playing with us. We know what we talking about. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not just research on the internet. It's research in the streets. I'm in places where y'all niggas cannot be sometimes. I'm just saying like that. I'm privy to certain conversations. I'm privy to, certain information. So it was told to me, yeah, don't worry about Thug. He's cooked because he fucked up. You know what I mean? And the ancestors is giving him divine retribution now. So when I seen this article pop up the other day, I was like, there you have it. So while they were wrapping up the YSL defendants and doing their quote unquote, when they were scooping them up and whatnot, story comes out. There's a story that leaks. And this wasn't known in the beginning. This just came out the other day, right? This just came out the other day that when they were rounding up the suspects in the YSL RICO case, they interrupted one of the YSL members during a goat sacrifice ritual. So now, Young Thug's attorneys in them, they don't want that evidence to be presented to the jury because we're in a Christian, this is the Bible Belt, my genius. There's nothing more that could get you life in jail than doing some type of fucking dark arts in the Bible Belt. New York is different. You know what I mean? New York is liberal. They into all kind of shit in New York. There's more religious room to move around with. They don't get that spooked out. But this shit right here, this Bible thumping ass Atlanta, oh no, they're spooked the fuck out if they find out anything about goat sacrifices or any type of voodoo or any type of thing dealing with black magic. You're cooked. Yeah, these some Jesus freaks down here. So once they start hitting him, so the same way that y'all talk about, oh, Travis Scott, no nigga, Young Thug, YSL. Slack, that shit that your children is on. They fucking with demons, real demon time, real Satanist, because they wasn't doing it for the light. Magic is magic. It's like a genie lamp. They was doing it for the dark. So the bodies is getting caught, the bodies is dropping, the killings, the crime spree. I showed y'all an article that crime is down 53% in Atlanta since they took the goat sacrifice niggas off the streets. They were going crazy with the magic. They were going crazy with, that's why I said, yo, there's a dark cloud over Atlanta. I can't put my finger on it, but these EFI niggas done went crazy out here. Something is going on. Because if it was so strong on the light side, they would have cleaned this bitch up. And they wasn't cleaning it up. It's more people doing dark magic in the West End than it's people doing light magic. I warned you niggas about the West End early in the game, and y'all didn't listen to me. Now, when I go to Wadada, niggas is out there mumbling to themselves, looking fucked up. I see a lot of people who used to be shining and whatnot. Y'all niggas is mad dull and whatnot. I had to unfollow a few people because they don't have that spark in them. And I know what's going on. You niggas went for a Punani rap and never came out the same. Real talk. So I don't want to hear about what Hollywood is. No, let's talk about what they doing in the black community first. Cause I'm not in fucking Hollywood. They doing Kabbalah, dark magic, and the warlocks and everything in the music. Yeah, we get that. Okay. But what about what these niggas in the hood is doing? Just running around wearing these fucking Eleke beads and whatnot. But they out here killing niggas, raping shit, robbing niggas, carjacking people, looking like zombies, right? But we supposed to just ignore that shit because they make good music. Nah, fam. Y'all niggas is bugging. Your children are fucking demons right now, for real, and they are possessed, and they gonna be drinking blood very soon. Not just being they gonna go from being in the blood to drinking blood. It's a very thin line. It's a very thin line. Talking about they clone Tyrone. Yeah, they clone Typhone. They clone the Typhonians. That's what they clone. They clone Typhone, nigga, not Tyrone. They clone Typhone. Go and look up who the fuck Typhone is, or the Typhonian. That's that. That's that backdoor. That's that Crowley shit. Sex magic from the back door. They call it the Typhonian. It's a Setian energy. It's a Setian priesthood, right? The Setians, right? Like Set from Kemet. Their priesthood dealt with homosexuality. You know what I'm talking about? It come from homosexuality, right? And then the Romans picked it up and whatnot, and now they got all kind of funny guys all around the world pushing that flag and whatnot. Let's take a trip and let's check out what's going on around the world in response to that flag. All right, because there's some things going on in Africa and in Russia, right, where they're pushing back against this Western lifestyle. Okay, and they're saying enough is enough. We don't want to be like y'all, right? We don't want to be nothing like y'all. So uh we're gonna start signing bills. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna start signing bills into whatchamacallit, into law. We're gonna stop this shit. You know what I'm saying? So one of the first people in Africa to put their foot down is Ghana, right? They're like, you know what? We getting this shit the fuck out of here. So Ghana just passed. It's not law yet, but it's going through the channels to become law, where they're basically saying, yo, if you a Chichi man, get out the country, bro. You know what I'm saying? Bottom line, we ain't with it. Your ass to get locked up for 3 years if you out here touching your toes, my nigga. You know what I'm saying? Because it's an assault against our tradition. And as we look at what's going on in the motherfucking West, we know that the West is falling. The West is flawed. You feel me? So we don't want to be flawed like you niggas. We don't see anything that your culture is doing that makes us want to be like that. It's very apparent to what the fuck is going on in the West, aka Nova Roma, aka Rome, because y'all are following the ways of many other societies that fell, namely Sodom and Gomorrah, right? There's been many instances of civilizations that existed that dealt with, counterculture and whatnot. However, none of those. Are we back? Are we back? So America, right? Where, yeah, I'm good. Everything is great. We good. Let me go back to what I was saying. So Ghana, right, where a lot of Americans are going, okay, they like, nah, we gonna put this law out there to stop all of the BS, right? Because all of you Americans are coming over here trying to push that legislation, and we not having it. So Ghana, out of all of the African nations, to me, that's the most important to put their feet down against it, right? But it's not just Ghana. It's not just Ghana, right? Let's see who else is supporting this stuff, right? Uganda. You feel me? Uganda is like fire bun. You know what I'm talking about? Uganda is like fire bun, right? So that's definitely going to be something that we'll be seeing in the future. But let me tell you how America will fall on their swords, right? America is going to fall on their swords because they're going to try to come into Africa. This is how they cut their nose off to spite their face, right? And keep in mind, this is a game of chess that they're playing right now, right? Because remember, they need Africa like everybody needs Africa, right? They need the resources of Africa. They out here trying to build electric cars. They have all of these ideas to be prosperous in the technological race and whatnot. So in order to do that, Africa is the centerpiece once again in that struggle, right? They need Africa. They need their resources. So, they print money so they could go into any African nation and promise money and shit like that because they print it. You know what I mean? It's not that hard. What the fuck? So these nations are like, we're good with your money. You can fucking keep your money. You know what I'm talking about? Because this is where the checkmate comes in. China and Russia ain't pushing no LBGT. But guess who is? All of the colonial countries, the niggas that are getting kicked out, like France, the British, you know. So yeah, you got Batiman in Africa and whatnot, but that shit was brought as a result of the church being there and doing what they was doing to that country and flipping niggas and whatnot. And yeah, it's out there, but them niggas is like, nah, we ain't fucking with that shit. So you got the death penalty in different places, like Nigeria. You know what I mean? So don't go to Nigeria looking for Burner Boy, my niggas. You know what I'm talking about? Or your ass might get burnt. You know what I'm talking about? Don't go looking for Burner Boy. You know what I mean? You gonna fuck around and find out the hard way. They got life sentences. You know what I'm saying? In Sudan and Zambia. You know what I mean? And Tanzania and Sudan, right? And then you also have to keep in mind these are majority Muslim countries, right? So they not dealing with that bullshit. You're not bringing that to no Muslim countries, right? Because they're standing on principles. They're standing on tradition. You feel me? They're standing on tradition. So only in South Africa and Namibia, which they're also going, that South Africa influences Namibia, right? And the Germans ran through Namibia, during the Nazis ran through there. Those are the places where you could possibly get a legal change to your gender, right? But everywhere else, that shit ain't possible and it's not flying. I feel bad for my nigga from the Netflix show. What's the sassy nigga from the Netflix show? Who be from Africa? What's my nigga name? He can't really. He's landlocked. It's not too many places he could go on the continent with his sassiness. Niggas might lock him up the minute he get off the plane. You know what I'm saying? He can only stay in South Africa. You know. So once again, where the Europeans are, right? Where the Europeans are, The only place where they allow in same-sex marriage, right? In the European, in the whole of the continent, right? In the whole of the a very fucking big place is the place where the Europeans is running shit, right? The place where apartheid and all of that shit come from. Mm-hmm. South Africa. You feel me? South Africa. But everywhere else, as backwards as people could say that it is, as all of that shit that they claim, right? As backwards and as in you know undeveloped and all of that, they don't got running water. Well, they know good enough with all of that trauma, all of that, you know, all of that poverty, all of that with you know, all of that. They still not letting that shit rock. They still not letting that shit rock, bro, for a reason. What's my nigga name from the Netflix show? You know that Netflix show, Fabulous Africans, is basically like Love and Hip Hop, but the African version. They got a super zesty nigga on that show. He's from Africa. He be wearing purses and fucking heels and everything. And even when I saw that, I was like, how they got? I was like, that's kind of bold. You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't know. This nigga said Credo Mutua. Come on, stop that. Not Credo. Credo. I'm talking. This is a young nigga, young sassy nigga. You know what I mean? And they trying to put him out there. So just the other day, when I put this on my IG, right? I put this on my IG that Mother Russia, you know, they in a bag. You know what I'm saying? And nigga Vladimir Putin and whatnot, he's making a stance. You feel me? He's making a stance. So Russia basically passed a law. You know, let me share that. So like I'm saying, there's something going on around the world where they're pushing back against Western culture, right? They're pushing back against Rome. They're pushing back against Babylon. They're creating what is known as the, like, you know how the bipartisan, they use the word bipartisan with Democratic and Republican. Well, they're creating a bipartisan type of situation where one side of the planet is going to be on this type of energy and one side of the planet is going to be on this type of energy, similar to how they created the World War II sides and whatnot. One side was communism and the other side was democracy and whatnot. So I talked about it before that we are currently in what is known as a culture war, but culture wars ultimately are spiritual wars. You understand? So yeah, Swanky. Yes, yeah, I swear. Shout out to Swanky, my nigga Swanky. Yeah, Swanky got it bad. Swanky can't go too many. He boxed in Africa. He got, you know what I'm saying? Swanky got a lot of fucking he got ops right now. You know what I mean? He can't do his sassy shit because niggas is on him. But hold on, let me show you this.
That would ban people from any medical procedure to change someone's gender, as well as all gender affirming services in Russia. The act was unanimously voted by both houses of parliament. It would declare invalid all marriages where one person changed their gender and bars any trans person from adopting kids in order to protect the country's traditional values. But what do you think? People in the Western world are melting down and trying to cancel President Vladimir Putin after he officially signs an anti-LGBTQ law that would ban people from any medical procedure to change someone's gender, as well as all gender affirming services in Russia. The act was unanimously voted by both houses of parliament. It would declare invalid all marriages where one person changed their gender and bars any trans person from adopting kids in order to protect the country's traditional values. But what do you think? People in the Western world are melting down and trying to cancel
I wrote, you know, so you know, people was, you know, they was in my, and then look at another thing that they doing. So I had shared on the show a few weeks ago when we were talking about the Wagner Group and whatnot. You know, we kind of showed how Russia is moving in on Africa, right? They have a mercenary group out there that basically took over Central African republics. That whole francophone shit, everywhere where France had influence, Russia has now knocked them out of that place, and they've taken over influential wise, right? And the strongmen in Africa fuck with Putin over a weakling and a degenerate like Joe Biden. You know what I mean? They would never, you know what I mean? They would never, you know what I mean? They would never rock with somebody's great grandfather like he's a strong man. They're not rocking with America. They're not rocking with France. They're not rocking with Canada. They're not rocking with King Charles. They rocking with China and they rocking with Vladimir, even though it's the lesser of two evils. Okay? Even though it's the lesser of two evils. Unfortunately, they have the continent in a quagmire because the continent is the eight-course meal. And all of the vultures are descending on the food source. And the food source is all of the resources and the gas and the oil and the gold and the diamonds and the coltan and even the bodies, the people. You know what I mean? Imagine a standing army, just the people that died trying to fucking cross over from Libya and going into Spain. Just those bodies alone could have been a standing army. A nigga could have swooped in Africa and just recruited all of them to be like, y'all mercenaries. We're gonna equip y'all with some fucking rocket launchers and y'all gonna fight our wars and we're gonna feed you niggas. You know what I'm talking about? So you don't gotta die trying to cross over the Mediterranean and whatnot and to sneak into these countries and invade Europe. You know what I mean? Just that amount of people that died in the water. That's a standing army. The Patreon class for Chicago is 8 o'clock tonight, y'all. It's 8 o'clock. I said that earlier and whatnot. So we'll send out the email to everybody in the class with the link. We pushed it back to 8 p.m. because the brother has an engagement to attend to. You know what I'm talking about? I was going to be at the Conscious Awards in Miami, but they canceled the flight, man, on some crazy shit, bro. So shout out to everybody that's in Miami, living it up, having fun in the sun. And I hope my bro Cambada and brother Rich tear the stage down. And yeah, and I hope he wins an award. You know what I'm talking about? But that's an interesting award show. There's a lot of white people in that award show, but shout out to them too. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to them too. I guess Billy Carson is, he's the everybody type of person. So this is not the Black Conscious Awards. This is just the awards. But yeah, that part. But Russia is making moves. You know what I'm talking about? Russia is making moves. Yeah, I mean, even when I was watching the debate with the bro Young Pharaoh and the white boy is eating his food and dog walking him, there's a whole world of Europeans who are out here, trying to make a name for themselves. Like I'm totally oblivious to that world. I really don't give a fuck about that world too tough. I'm focusing on our society, our world, but obviously, apparently, allegedly, there's a whole fucking movement on that side. You know what I'm saying? It's a whole world on that side, and I'm not privy to it, and I'm kind of good on that world. You know what I mean? Because when I listen to them, they not really privy to, they ain't excited about us either. They talking shit. The way that white boy was talking to Pharaoh, bro. When I see him, I might go in his mouth. You know what I mean? Just because I might just pop off. You know what I mean? Just because, like, nigga, talking greasy. Like, where you get that from? Since when they felt like they could talk like that to our people? Like, this shit crazy. This shit crazy. Are you fucking serious? Like, this is what y'all let this shit rise up on us? Like, really? And then, of course, you got the other control opposition, Ben Shapiro, Speedio or Speed, whatever the nigga name who be on Adam 22, Ben Shapiro, Nick Fuentes, you know what I mean? The Andrew Tates, his little circle and ciphers, and you know, it's a lot of ops surrounding our people, y'all. Niggas better get it to fucking together, bro. Better get it together. Stop playing yourselves. You lost a lot of power. Niggas is out here looking like this nigga right now. You out here looking like this. How Pharaoh was looking the other day after the debate. That's how our community be looking when it comes to fucking with these white boys. The hell? Getting washed. Looking crazy in these streets, man. Come on, man. Looking like my nigga, was that Hancock? Looking like Martin and shit. You know what I'm saying? The fuck? That episode still make me laugh. Is the swelling going down? Man. And leave. But yeah, man. Shit crazy, bro. But yeah, I ain't gonna be talking too long. What we? Oh, we 2 hours in. Oh man, love and light to y'all. It's been great. It's 2 hours. We had a great Sacralegious Sundays. We will definitely be here for Melanin Mondays tomorrow, and we'll catch up with all of our Patreons later on tonight when we continue our Solid Gold Sundays with the good brother Chicago Crypto Block Bully. Y'all look out. Go on your Patreons for your link for all of the Patreons. Your link comes in the inbox of the Patreon and nowhere else. So definitely look out for that. I will be sending that very soon as I get off of this show. You know what I mean? So with that being said, peace.
Up in the Dumbo, smoking a gumbo. Few blocks before green, yet up in the jungle, coking the bundles. It's history in the making. I'm popping like fish to the grease and the bacon. My bitch is Jamaican. United we stand, dividing these bands. They hide in their hands. I'm riding in vans, slide through your land. Hopping the sprinters, tore the underworld, popping the minter. Landed the turtles, I'm popping that splinter. Watching the snowfall, dropping the winter. Dodging the pitfalls, watching this bitch fall. And I still managed like Rich Paul. The paper was calling, I had to go switch calls. I spoke to my twin, I told my young boys I'd never be broken again. Invoking the gins, spitting the spirits, I'm soaking the gin. Your man's in the woods, we smoking on him. Fuck do you mean? We up and squeeze, tuck it and leave, we leaving a stain. Fuck up for breeze, running the banks, causing a crashing. Feather the feds, Moorish the fashion. Horse was smashing, kicking the door. Wave on 4-4s, it was blasting. Mother the gassing, loving the passion. Eat on your food, the brother was fasting. The weapon that formed against me was me. Perfected the storm as Bentley receipts. Washing the Benjis, we rinse and repeat. Sanctuary of self, I'm centered on me. Red as the pillar, I'm pushing the piece. Higher the level, I'm pushing the keys. They going for 19. The summer is mine, I'm going for 19. Thunder and lightning, flooded a bright lean. The hunger was biting,